we've got another tough away game. I absolutely get the fact that the fans see the Arsenal games and the Man U games as the excitement and the hype over those games, but also the thought that we're probably not expected to get anything from those games. And these games, there's a hope that we can actually get something from these games. I just take it in the cold, hard facts in terms of putting the next club into our system, in terms of what we do and our approach to the game. It is another away game, so it's another tough game. Palace have got a new manager, and that always brings that little bit of momentum and impetus as far as a group of players are concerned, as was shown on Tuesday night. And that being the case, then we know that we've got a tough tie in our hands on Saturday. Tony's a very experienced man, very experienced manager, and someone that does a lot of hard work with his team. So that's the very first things I would say about that. After that, it's going to take him time to mould Palace in the way he wants it, and that'll probably take 3 transfer windows for that to happen. So it's the same group of players he's got. How he conveys what he wants them to do and the tactics he wants them to employ will be up to him. But we've had them watch them. Our analysis department of we'll be talking to the players today on that. Yeah, but they were never a club that were so far detached, both in terms of points, but also in terms of the squad that they've got and the games that they've played. I've watched some of the games they've played on TV, and they've not been that much worse than anyone else. So again, you don't get too high about things, you don't get too low about things, and certainly you don't. And if you're in this league, you're in here on merit. And as was seen, I touched on this the other day in terms of Liverpool going up to Hull and being beaten at Hull, and then going and really beating Norwich last night. There's some funny results will be thrown up all the way through the season. I don't doubt that. I have to say that I thought young Declan John was immense in terms of the way that he stepped in and his temperament to walking into another Premier League game and coming through it with flying colours. A testament to the coaches at the club and the way they've worked hard with Declan and his own potential and talent that he's come through, and every challenge is meeting that challenge head on. We've signed him in a new long-term contract, and he's delighted to secure his future here for the present time, and he's now an international footballer as well, so great potential and someone that can only be good for Cardiff City going forward. Originally, I didn't actually see the incident. I just saw Fraser go down, and then was told it was a kind of stramash between him and Peter Crouch. It wasn't until the press conference where the assembled press told me that it was Charlie Adam that pushed him and had already had a yellow card. So I suppose if you look at cold hard facts, he should have been sent off. We'll determine. I've put my request into the PGMO, and in terms of just clearing up the issue. I'm certainly not someone that is waiting on apologies from anyone every week. I'm not waiting on an apology from Mike Riley every week. I know that it's been something that you guys have been driving in the last couple of weeks in terms of a couple of managers, but it means nothing to me. I don't really care. They try and do the best job they can, I have to say. The referees, sometimes mistakes happen, honest mistakes happen, and Michael Oliver's a good referee, and he refereed the game well last night. As I said, apart from not giving us a penalty and not sending off a man, he refereed it really well. The referee supervisor in charge of the whole thing speaks to his referee, his assessor. They determine what actually happened after the incident once they've got the chance to see television footage, because at the end of the day, things happen in split seconds. Once you're able to reassess on televisions and they get together, and then the head of the PGMO phones the manager of the team, I don't see how clearer it can be than that, rather than letters to clubs and emails going backwards and forwards that can be misconstrued. I think a phone call between the manager and the head of the PGMO is probably the clearest way it can be. Probably, again, from the media's point of view, that can be a private conversation, which probably frustrates the media that they don't get to hear about it unless the manager decides to speak about it.